"Don't wait up," she said, her tone light and casual, like she was just heading to another late-night work dinner. The scent of her perfume lingered in the hallway long after the door clicked shut. I stood there for a moment, hand still resting on the doorknob, heart uneasy. "Don't wait up." It wasn't the first time she'd said those words, but tonight, something about the way she avoided my eyes made my stomach twist. I watched her taillights disappear down the street, then turned off the porch light and stood in the darkness of our living room. The clock on the wall ticked like a heartbeat, too loud, too steady. It was 8:47 p.m. I tried to tell myself not to overthink it. Emily had been working late a lot lately. New position. New responsibilities. She'd said it was exhausting, that she was barely keeping up. I wanted to believe her. God, I did. But belief had started to feel like a luxury I couldn't afford. It began a few months ago. Her phone always face down, laughter coming from behind a closed bathroom door, that new perfume she swore she bought for herself but only wore when she went out with coworkers. I brushed it off for weeks, rationalizing everything because love makes fools of us all. But when I'd reached for her one night and she'd flinched, whispering she was too tired, something inside me cracked. So that night, instead of waiting up like a faithful husband, I decided to do something different. I stayed up and recorded everything. It wasn't a plan I was proud of. I'd spent 3 nights setting up small motion cameras in the house. One in the hallway, one in the living room, one by the front door. A single app on my phone connected them all. If she came home late, or didn't come home at all, I'd know. I sat in the dark, lit only by the faint blue glow of the television, pretending to watch a movie I wasn't really seeing. Every sound outside made my heart jump. I kept glancing at the clock. 9:30. 10:15. 11:42. Still nothing. By midnight I was exhausted. I thought about calling her but stopped myself. If she was really working, I'd look paranoid. If she wasn't, well, I'd have my answer soon enough. I opened the app on my phone. The front door camera showed only the porch light flickering in the breeze. The living room feed was still, shadows stretching across the furniture. The house was too quiet. Then, just after 12:30, the camera picked up something. Movement. The front door opened slowly. Emily stepped inside, but she wasn't alone. My chest tightened. I turned up the volume on my phone, heart pounding in my throat. A man followed her in. Tall, dark jacket. His hand brushing the small of her back as she closed the door behind them. She whispered something and he laughed. Low, confident, too familiar. Froze. Felt like my body disconnected from my mind. I was watching, but part of me refused to believe it was real. She took off her coat, smiling in that soft, playful way I hadn't seen in months. The man leaned closer. Her hand went to his chest. My heart broke in silence. I couldn't hear their words clearly, but I didn't need to. The way she looked at him said enough. They moved toward the couch. She hesitated, glancing toward the hallway, toward me where I would normally be asleep. Then she kissed him. I stopped the playback. My hand shook so hard I nearly dropped the phone. I didn't know whether to scream or throw up. Instead, I sat there in the dark, staring at my reflection in the TV screen. My face looked pale, hollow. It wasn't just betrayal, it was humiliation. Every moment of doubt I'd swallowed, every excuse I'd made for her, turned to poison inside me. Around 1 a.m. I heard her key in the lock. I killed the TV and leaned back in the chair, eyes half closed. She stepped inside, careful not to make noise. I could smell that perfume again, stronger now, mixed with something else. "Hey," I said softly, startling her. She froze, clutching her bag to her chest. "Oh, you're still up. I told you not to wait." I nodded slowly. "Yeah, you did." She gave a small, nervous laugh. "I just lost track of time. The team had drinks after the meeting." "Right. The team." She set her bag down, trying to act casual. "You look tired. You should go to bed." I studied her face. The faint smudge of lipstick. The way her hair looked freshly tousled. The faint mark on her neck she hadn't noticed yet. "Rough night?" I asked quietly. Her eyes flickered. "What do you mean?" Long night, I corrected myself. Must have been intense. She frowned. What's that supposed to mean? I picked up my phone from the coffee table. Just that you look worked up. Like you've been doing something other than work. Ben, she said, her tone sharp now. What are you trying to say? Press play. The video filled the screen. The door opening, her stepping inside with him, their laughter, the kiss. Her hand shot to her mouth. Where did you get that? She whispered. I told you I stayed up, I said. My voice was calm, but every word felt like glass in my throat. I recorded everything. She backed away, tears filling her eyes. Ben, please. It's not. Don't, I cut her off. Don't you dare tell me it's not what it looks like. Her silence was all the answer I needed. I stood up slowly, the anger draining out of me, leaving only something cold and hollow. You should pack a bag. She stepped closer, voice trembling. It was a mistake. Swear. It didn't mean anything. I laughed. Quiet, bitter. It meant enough for you to bring him here. Into our home. Please, she said, reaching for me. We can fix this. I stepped back. You broke it in front of a camera. Her sobs filled the room, but I felt nothing. Just a numb kind of clarity. I walked to the door and opened it. You said not to wait up. So I didn't. She hesitated, eyes red, hands shaking. Where will you go? I'll figure it out, I said. You just make sure you don't bring anyone else into this house again. She stared at me like she didn't recognize me. Maybe she didn't. I left that night with nothing but my phone and my keys. The next morning I sent her the video. No message attached, just the file. 10 minutes later I saw the typing bubble appear, then disappear again. She didn't reply. Weeks passed. She moved out. Filed for divorce. The house stayed empty for a while. Quiet except for the occasional echo of what used to be. Sometimes I rewatch that video, not out of pain, but as a reminder of what trust looks like when it's shattered, of how silence can be louder than any confession. And every time I hear those words again in my head, don't wait up, I can still taste the truth behind them. That night I didn't wait. I just watched everything fall apart in real time.